it kind of helped them advance. I mean, do you think this was a conspiracy?
Gotta go with Jacob Butter. Gotta go
No,
lefty.
we're talking about the players. That's tournament champion into the podcast.
There he is, right there.
Oh, he doesn't even know how to watch. Go to youtube.com and search Down Lane Podcast. What's up, bowlers? Welcome to Down Lane Podcast. We are streaming live from the lab at Town and Country Lanes. I am your host, Kyle Haines, and with me is the assistant to the host, Anthony Scaccia.
Wow. Just sat down.
Don't be afraid to get that mic nice and close.
I don't like it close. This feels weird.
Get it real tight, real close.
Apparently, I was a little quiet last week. I apologize to my fans. I'll try to speak up.
Yeah, Kyle.
Right
No, I don't
Right
like
there.
it. That
Kyle
close.
bought us some fancy microphones.
I
We
don't
got to
like.
get Anthony used to them.
I don't like it this close. I feel like it's impeding my mouth.
What are you
I'm
supposed to do with your hands?
I'm gonna eat this thing.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. Don't forget, we are on the Down Lane Bowling channel because not only are we a podcast, we also have all of the reviews and live bowling videos and all that other bowling stuff. Bowling.
What is that?
Austin's so excited. We have a sound effects board now.
We got a soundboard now.
Just there's just too much to even.
I thought we were
Talk
having
about.
static problems because knowing us.
So with us this week, we've got another guest. I don't know if it's fair to call him an up and coming bowler because he's been around for a few years and he's got a whole bunch of points, but I think new to the television circuit, if you will, because he's made one TV appearance this year.
He's got a lot of revs.
As Anthony says, if there's a chicken dinner, he's freaking
gnawing
gnawing on it,
He's
man.
gnawing on it.
Holy crap. Let's bring him right in. We got Mikey. I think I'm saying this right. Slayball. Is that right, Mikey?
He's shaking.
Spot
we got a
on.
thumbs up. All right.
Spot
I don't
on.
know what you have to tell us what that even is, what your heritage is, because that is not how it's spelled. You don't know?
Netherlands, I think.
I mean, you look at. I mean,
Yeah.
the Stappen looks. I mean,
You look like
know,
a Dutch boy. Yeah, that's
you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a Dutch boy.
My dad's in the chat, so he'll let you guys know.
All right,
So,
there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, when you told me that's how you say it, I'm like, that doesn't compute
Wait a
because
minute.
those letters don't equal what that sounds like.
yeah, we're weird, man. We're just weird.
So thanks for coming out tonight. Dude, you are tearing it up on the lanes, it looks like, with your scores and also the bowling ball spinning down the lane. It's absolutely disgusting.
And you're two-handed.
all of a sudden.
Yeah. So am I supposed to jump in or am I waiting?
Yeah, we can go ahead and jump in right.
You didn't ask me how my week was.
Sorry. All right. Mikey, hold on 1 second. Stand by.
Thank you.
Anthony, how was your week this week?
I almost shot 300 again. I just can't figure it out. 10th frame every time. You know,
Wasn't
I get
it-
the first one?
Wasn't it almost twice?
When the heck would the other one be?
I thought you almost had 300 the first game.
When? I don't know.
Oh,
Monday
my
night
God, you
or
guys are
Tuesday.
terrible.
I'm so good. Kyle. It happens all the time. No.
So many strikes in a row. You just can't seal the deal.
No.
this year.
I did
It was
last
either Monday or Tuesday. but
Thursday and Tuesday. Anyways,
Tuesday. You had the front 10.
I left another 6-pin. I don't get it. I think the 6-pin moves over when I throw it. Like it
Mhm.
just kind of inches itself over every time.
You have no excuse since you're left-handed. So
Oh no, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
Left side's always easy.
I mean, he has one excuse. It wasn't a purple hammer going down the
Hey
lane.
now,
fair enough.
that is true. God, you shot 300 on Thursday. Congrats.
No, that was on.
That was last week.
Oh no, I
2
beat
weeks
you in
ago.
jackpot again. How'd you feel about
That was
that?
on Tuesday, wasn't it?
I had 288.
Yeah.
And what'd you have that game?
I don't know, 260 something.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
you
know.
choked on the 10th, but I took that jackpot.
Oh,
Yep.
jeez.
I wasn't even close.
All right,
Mikey, how was your week
sorry.
this
I'm
week?
sorry, Mikey.
My week was
How'd you
good.
bowl?
I don't bowl league. I just practice.
No
So,
league. He's a no
No
leaguer.
league. Nope. I haven't bowled league in
Wow.
3-4 years now. Yeah.
Good for you.
No,
So
never say that.
I know I shouldn't say that. You should support your local center.
You practice every day.
I do. I
know.
practice every day, but
You practice
that's
every
good.
day.
my problem with league is I don't want to spend $20 and spend 3 hours just to fry out because that's what happened every night at league. So I'm just like, I'll practice. I can fry out for at least 8 or 10 games for $20. So
We know a guy or two like that.
All right, here we go. Dutch, Netherlands. He should have known. You're 100% right. He should have
He
known.
should have known.
Thank you, Mom.
You're-
Appreciate you.
Definitely Verstappen-ish. You know, he got the hair. It's perfect. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But, so you practice every day, Monday.
Pretty
Friday.
close. Yep.
They oil the lanes for you?
They do most days. I'm very, very blessed. The local center I got here, they are a big supporter of me and what I'm doing, and they've actually been around for about probably the past 9 years of me like chasing this whole professional boulder thing. And so they've supported me from the beginning. And if I say jump, they'll say how high. So I'm very, very blessed to have them.
That's nice. I don't know anybody like that. Sorry.
I wasn't paying attention to what you said. Really.
I don't know. I was just ragging on you, but anyway.
I oil lanes for you every Wednesday.
I know. And anytime we want to come in the daytime. Yeah, we practice a lot too. And then we also bowl in league and yeah,
I'm a pretender at competitive.
That's fun. Yeah.
Competing. I'm a pretender.
What does that mean?
I pretend I'm all right.
You pretend
like he's
that you're
actually good. He's like he is the real deal. I am the pretender.
Or am I just really good at pretending?
He's got
is it the chicken or the
dude?
egg?
He made TV. I don't know. I mean, you got to be pretty darn good. I mean,
I got a question. All right, for Anthony, watching his videos.
Who's his?
Mikey's.
Yeah, I've seen him.
What do you think his rev rate is?
A lot.
No, I'm asking you the number. What do you think his rev rate is?
I
Because
don't
him
know.
and I talked
One-handed
before
or
the show.
two-handed?
Within 10.
Both. What do you take a guess on both?
Oh, I mean, one-handed. I mean, I think I saw a video where he was talking about working out and his rev rate went way up. I remember that. I think he's probably about 560.
Oh, wow. Which hand or which one? One-handed, you said?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
two-handed, he's probably got to be 610.
You are super close, but Mikey, go ahead. Give him the answer.
So my rev rate one-handed, I just did a YouTube video on this, was 583 or 582, and my rev rate two-handed was 568.
How about that? Backwards.
Whoa.
Well, what we would think is to be backwards.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you're just starting, right? So you'll get that up
Yeah.
to 610, 620.
We're trying to
now,
get
right?
those yes for Svensson numbers up there. Yeah.
Wow, I was actually close. I'm usually really
You were
poor
very
at that. But I remember you did have a video way back about talking about lifting and how it improved your game dramatically. So do you still have a workout regimen or what are you doing now to continue it?
Yeah, every morning, 4 a.m., we head to the gym and I do a form of powerlifting, squat, deadlift, bench, and then obviously accessory movements on top of that. When I went to TurboTech Training Center and JR Raymond, I worked with JR for a little bit there, and I saw my numbers on their Specto machine, and at the time it was like 468 or just under 470. And I was like,
That sucks.
I don't want to be compared to EJ Tackett when my rev rate's not even north of 500. What are we doing? And so, I literally like a month later, I got a hold of this guy. His name's Alex Walters. He's a great guy, and he does powerlifting and Olympic lifting. And he had a gym that he was at. He's like, you should come, hang out with us and just do a workout because he knew I was big into workouts. But my whole workout was like, I'm gonna go run 5 miles and maybe do a couple push-ups. That was kind of my workout regimen. And then I got in there with these meatheads, these dudes that could move a school bus. And I was like, this is awesome. I'm going to start doing this. And so the running kind of went away. And at one point in time, I was the best shape I could possibly be in. And then I got married. And then all of a sudden, sitting down and eating a whole bunch of popcorn and junk food sounded better than going to the gym. So, I
love me some popcorn. Popcorn's good. I'm a popcorn master, a connoisseur, if you will. I can pop.
So what's
some
your
corn.
favorite? What's your favorite method?
Like just
To pop it.
stovetop, man. I just pop it in.
Yeah?
I just pop it in the stovetop.
What do you use
How
as a
does that mean you're a
lubricant?
connoisseur if you're eating stovetop?
He just said, what? No, I make it on the stovetop. I'm not using stovetop popcorn.
Oh.
I'm using actual corn kernels,
Like in
on
a
the
pan or a
stovetop.
pot?
Yeah, in a pot.
Shows how very illiterate I am.
is
in
it
the popcorn
coconut oil?
world.
No, I use actually just olive oil.
Okay.
Because canola oil is like the devil's liquid. It's very bad for you, and you can tell that I've taken a lot of canola oil on. So
You're thumbs upping. Does that
Try it
mean
with coconut oil.
my
One
wife would
time.
approve. No canola oil.
that's right. Seed oils
Yeah.
are bad for you.
Yep.
Wow, okay,
Um,
there you
yep.
go. I mean,
So
are
do
you
the
a health
olive
guy
oil.
too? Are you a health guy? I mean,
I did lose 70 pounds in the span of 8 months. I kind of went on this huge, I guess, transformation. Yeah. When I graduated high school, I couldn't walk, let alone run a mile. And I couldn't do more than 10 push-ups. And I was like, this has got to change. I'm 18 years old and I can barely touch my toes. So I kind of went psycho for 8 months. I ate nothing but chicken and broccoli straight 8 months. If my mom's in the chat, she can vouch for me because she got tired of her kitchen smelling like broccoli. So, because I'd steam it. And yeah, I did Tyson chicken and broccoli for 8 months. I lost 70 pounds. And then from there is when I really started getting into like the weightlifting stuff, because obviously the whole idea is like, well, if I'm going to go out and be an athlete as a bowler, I'm going to be an athlete. I'm going to work out like one and I'm going to eat like one, and kind of the route I went then.
You shouldn't put air quotes around that. You're definitely an athlete. I mean, people can't do what you do. I mean, it is a specialty, right?
Yeah,
Athletic movement.
Well,
You are an athlete.
especially for this kid. I mean, he's got more muscle in the game than literally anybody that I've seen. I think. I mean, I can't think
What
of.
do you mean by that?
Like, I think he's still, his arm swing is fully extended at the foul line behind him. I mean, and then he just powers it through. I don't know if that's fully accurate.
His good elbow flexion, I think.
But yeah, it is a very powerful swing, is what I meant.
Flexion.
Whereas for me, for example, mine is very traditional weight of the ball going through the arm swing. And when he's talking about, and when he's talking about 580 revs, I'm thinking, we were talking about this last night, and I'm like, if we were like, we could go to a couple places here that have Specto and be like,
disappoint myself.
I'm gonna go in with the expectation that I'm probably hovering around 315. And then if it says 350, I'm going to walk out as a proud man, because I'm not rolling it like EJ or Mikey for that matter. And these guys are like, I'm 450 guaranteed. I'm like, I would love to see that, because I said
I was hoping to be 420. That would be my hope.
I'd hope to be around 425.
I'd hope to be above 400.
Yeah. I would love to be around 400, but I'm not even close, I don't think. But
I'm old.
I need more ball speed if I'm going to hook it anymore.
Mikey, we're supposed to ask you why you started.
Two-handed or bowling?
No, the broccoli. I don't know. Your mom said to ask you.
Ask him why he started. Yes.
Oh, yeah. This is a tender subject. Because Dad's in the chat. When I graduated high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I had a good job offer at a boat factory that was a simple, 40-hour a week. I'd had plenty of time to go bowl on the weekends, go bowl sweepers, stuff like that. So it was kind of perfect for what I wanted to do. And I graduated with this huge ambition to go out and I'm going to go be a professional bowler. I'm going to go pursue this. It's exactly what I'm going to do. You're going to see Mikey Schlabach all over TV. And this was the time I was telling you guys couldn't do 10 push-ups or, let alone walk a mile. And we were watching, can't remember what telecast it was, but there was a motive bowler on there. I want to say it was Jake Peters before he went to track. And I just told my dad, I said, Dad, someday I'm going to be on TV and I'm going to win a championship for motive bowling. And my dad, without missing a beat, said, son, I don't think motive's going to want fat people to represent them on TV.
Oh, man.
That's great.
As tough as it is, and as honest as it is,
hey, sometimes you got to hear it.
He's a good man.
You got to hear it
for letting you know.
So here's my revenge to him. He used to race motocross, and he actually had the opportunity to go race professionally, and he turned it down for his family. And so he always talked about his training regimen that he did for racing. He would run 5 miles every day, and he would go to the gym 3 days a week to work out. So I ran 5.5 miles a day, so I'd run further than him, and then I go to the gym 5 days a week, so I'd work out more than he would. That's yeah.
Let's try to give him some redemption. So when you were on TV, that was that I'm trying to remember. Cheetah.
Yes.
All right. So when unfortunately didn't win, did he come back and say like you should have won that one, or did he give you a big congratulations and you did a good job?
I got one of the biggest hugs I've ever received from my dad.
Right. So a little.
And I don't know if he'll admit it, but there were tears coming, during that day, being there, part of the whole production and stuff. I think he was welling up a little bit.
So what was it like growing up? You guys spend a lot of time in the bowling centers, or is it just you that's a bowler? How's this work?
Yeah. So I grew up playing baseball. That was my first true passion. That actually is golf and baseball are my favorite sports. They're tied, and bowling's third. I wasn't really into anything other than baseball, but I got into high school and I realized that I'm not 6'2" throwing 90. And so my chances of, pursuing baseball outside of maybe like a D3 college was probably done. And at the time, my friend took me, it was back in like 7th grade or 6th grade, took me to take your friend to league day. And I went and I thought, oh, this is so cool. And bowling was in the winter. It didn't compete with baseball. So I'm like, this is perfect. I have a hobby to do in the winter and go play ball in the summer. This is awesome. And my dad's like, yeah, sure. Why not? Get you out of my hair for a while. And so I started bowling, and it was, for some reason, baseball players just have this really good ability to pick up things well that aren't baseball. I don't know why. Like Mookie Betts, great example. And I just naturally,
the greatest athletes.
Dude, yeah, he's an insane athlete. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, baseball players in general are the best athletes.
They can. I've watched
Anthony's
baseball
just trying
players.
to compliment himself, by the way.
Baseball players. Oh, see a ball player?
Yeah,
My man. There we go. I've
he's a
watched
lefty.
baseball
He's a
players with
lefty at
better.
90, so he was doing
I
pretty
was
good.
okay.
Bro, you got a flamethrower.
No. Mm-mm. I was all right. I did my job.
Would you have like a big old nasty, 12 to 6er?
Yeah, and then I threw a slide or two. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. I wasn't that good. I was okay. I did my job, and that's about it.
Hey, man, did you touch 90?
Yeah, 91.
So
was
envious.
I
Envious right now.
I sat 88, 90, and then I would touch 91 occasionally.
Hey, Kyle Hendricks had a career for the Chicago Cubs throwing 88, 89. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I wasn't that good though. He was good. I wasn't that good. I was probably your average Joe.
Your average Joe.
At 90 miles an hour, your
miles
average
an hour.
Average Joe throwing 90. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, I was okay. I did all right. It was a good time. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was
a lot.
happy to hit 70.
Yeah, baseball players were the best. Are the best athletes. I mean, just hand-eye coordination. I mean, footwork. I mean, anticipation.
Really, I'd like to see you play baseball on ice.
Oh, yeah, hockey players are good.
Hockey players are pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's true. We're just gonna stick with baseball because Mikey's there. We're gonna stick with
Listen,
baseball.
man.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
man.
okay.
So you also hit the links, right?
Yeah, I play a lot of golf.
And
Yeah.
our buddy RJ says you're pretty good. RJ Martinez.
He was
I'm-
everybody.
I'm okay. I'm not as good as I'd like to be.
Are you as good or like to hope you're as good as oh shoot, I just
Well, EJ's good.
EJ's pretty good too. I know I'm thinking of
Ronnie Russell.
Ronnie Russell. Thank you.
I think Ronnie's definitely better than me. My handicap this year was a 2, like 2.2 or something
He's
like
pretty
that.
close to scratch, isn't he? I mean,
Yeah,
too close to
Ronnie's
too,
scratch.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good.
So-
No.
2. Yeah, I'm okay. 2 handicap. Yeah.
Austin, what are
I'll
you?
take
You're
my
pretty good.
I'll take my 23 handicap and walk out
Wait,
the
you're
door.
23?
You'd be around 23 too.
No, I'd be way higher.
No,
than
way
that.
higher.
Way
Way
higher. I mean, I can smoke it. I mean, I can hit it, but I don't know where.
Yeah,
my
those,
lad-
those freaking pigeons need to look out where you're freaking smoking it to.
Yeah, I mean, I can whack it good, but I mean,
No, he's not kidding. I mean, his
I
club
hit it.
speed is up there with Bryson.
I don't know.
The
about that.
direction's just not the same.
I don't know where it's going.
If the longest drive competition was in the woods, you'd be really close.
I'd win.
Oh,
And the
he
other hole,
definitely
you
would.
mean? You mean the other hole, right? Because
Yeah, it's on the other. Yeah.
I hit it over, and then it's like I got to jump back,
He's just seeing the whole golf course. That's all he's doing.
trying to see it from multiple
Paying for
angles.
it. Yeah.
like
I mean,
it.
you're paying to see it all.
Yeah.
Might as well take my time when I'm out there if I'm paying money.
There you go. So you're pretty close. A 2 handicap that's basically scratch. I mean, that's pretty damn good.
That's 2 putts away.
Yeah. I mean, wow, that's good.
How far is your driver?
Like if we're gaming, like we're actually out on the course, or if I'm at a simulator trying to break my back.
No, like
No,
we're
on
right
the
now.
grass. On the grass.
We're trying to. $1,000.
Depends on the weather. But usually the ball will carry between 270 and 300. Just depends on how hot it is and how fast I'm swinging at that time.
In the
So-
fairway for the most part.
At the end of the year, yes. At the beginning of the year, no. It was going everywhere.
Understandable.
So, but no, yeah. This the last couple rounds I played this year, when I played 18, I think it was 12 or 14 fairways, which is we'll take that.
That's
Yeah, I'll take 5.
it's 12 more than I hit.
5 sounds great.
So you seem like you're pretty explosive. If you can do all this, how tall are you?
I just got measured today. Actually, I'm 6'1". I didn't know I surpassed 6 foot, but apparently
Yeah,
I
I mean,
have.
you just said I'm not.
Did you have a
6
growth
foot, I don't
spurt?
throw 90, and then I see you on TV and your YouTube channel. You don't look like a small dude. I
No.
mean, you look like you're pretty tall and built. And you were telling me, oh, I'm not 6 foot, don't throw 90. I'm like, man, am I not 6 feet? I mean, he looks like he's pretty tall. I mean, so growth spurt.
When I graduated high school, I was actually 5'10". So I have grown quite a bit since I got out of high school. So
You stretch out on like the.
I got stuck at 5'8".
You like hold yourself and like try to lengthen your back out in the gym. Is that,
I use those inverter tables where you
Yeah,
hang upside
yeah,
down.
yeah.
There you go. put weights on your hands so that it stretches you out more.
It's not a bad idea. You get a little bit longer arms, and you can
gonna start
have a little
doing
more
that.
rev rate.
I like
I mean,
this
you
plan.
do look like you have T-Rex arms today. I mean, you are a little short. You know.
Talking about me?
Yeah, you're.
That's because the middle of me is getting wider.
Oh. Hey, Mikey lost 70 pounds.
Yeah,
You are in a weight loss.
I'm in a weight loss
You need to
challenge.
message
Chicken,
this
hey,
guy.
chicken and
so he can
broccoli.
get 70 pounds.
I had a
down.
chicken breast today, as a matter of fact.
Did you?
There we go.
What was it marinated in?
It was not marinated.
Oh, good.
It was
Good start.
it was a fake. Well, we do a healthy chicken parm, which means chicken sauce and a little bit of mozzarella. So it's not like unhealthy, breaded, fried, all that stuff. It's all just baked. Anyway, this is a bowling podcast, not a
We're
dinner
also talking
podcast.
golf. We talk baseball. This is everything tonight. I mean,
Well, Ryan, I always butcher his name, and he's a bowler here, but
Ryan A.
I'm just gonna say abba labba dabba dabba. He says that he really liked your take on string pins. So I don't know the video that he's referring to, or a post, or what have you. So if you can go for that, I want to hear what you have to say.
About string pins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, first of all, I would just like to say I think that if bowling alleys need to change to string pins to stay alive, change, because bowling needs to stay alive. Now, I will say there are some quarrels I have with it. It doesn't promote the same excitement that free fall pins do. I did a whole YouTube video about how kind of it actually hinders me, because I built my whole game around the idea of how the ball goes through the pins when they're free fall pins, more rev rate dominant compared to speed. And when I bowled on string pins, it was just a different animal. The pins don't go side to side. They only go back. Very rarely will you get a pin to come across the deck. And for me, everything I built my game around is to open my angles up and to get pins to go side to side. Like my miss is to have a messenger take out the 10 pin. You don't do that on string pins. And so I was really, really lost for the longest time until I kind of figured it out. But by the time I figured it out, I was 100 out of the numbers. So string pins are definitely something that I think bring people a new idea of how to throw a bowling ball, or at least the ball to see the lane, because you have to be so in tune to how the ball goes through the first half of the lane and then how it goes through the pins. Because if your ball does not have enough kinetic energy as it gets to the 1-3 or to the 1-2, it will not strike. It is like trying to knock over tree trunks, man. I don't know how else to describe it, just tree trunks. There feels like there's tension in the pin deck. It feels like there's just this weird just tension of how the ball goes through the pins. It feels like everything just moves in slow motion. And it was hard to adapt to, because my whole idea is I want to wind the sucker up and I want to watch pins just go berserk. But the only way to do that on string pins is actually just to increase ball speed. So at the regional I bowled in, all the guys who threw it hard were all the guys that bowled really well. So like Chandler Stevens, I don't know if you guys know who he is, regional bowler, throws it really hard and straight. Kevin McCune, I think everybody knows who Kevin McCune is. And then Kyle Troop. And Kyle's like known for being able to go really straight and really fast and keep it in front of him. So they all bowled extremely well. And after I saw what I saw there on string pins, it all made sense why they bowled so well. It's because, they were probably able to get the ball to see it right at 30 to 40 feet. And then with just the higher ball speed and getting the ball to go through the pins, instead of sideways, more forward, it led to a higher strike percentage. So,
the thing that we've been hearing, and Deke is saying it in the comments, he's saying it equals the playing field. And to me, it sounds like it's just introducing a whole different
Playing field.
Element.
Not element. Now it's instead of the guys that are the high rev rate or what have you, the guys that open up the angles and then just, have it corner and, like you said, explode the pins and have them go side to side. Now it's the guys like Kevin that can just overpower the lane and smash the pins just so that they fall.
Swapping the variables.
So like exactly. Yeah. So I don't know that it does necessarily level a playing field. It just changes who the playing field is for. It sounds
correct.
Because I to be honest, I haven't bowled on them yet. They are down the street. We can go bowl on them, but I haven't done it yet. But for me, we were just literally having this discussion with Deke 2 minutes ago before the show started, because he's here. And he's bowled on them. I think did he bowl in that tournament? Deke, you'll have to tell us if he bowled on them in that tournament, the PBA 50 tournament.
He did, I believe.
So
down in Florida, right? Yeah, it was down in Florida.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he was there.
So anyway, what I was saying was I don't think that the viewing population and this is just my opinion, and there's no statistics to back this up, but I don't think the viewing population is going to accept things that we saw, like with Kyle Troop, where he tripped a pin that was 4 inches away from the other pin because the string took it out. And it's legal, but it's to me, it looks like absolute garbage. And like you said, when the pins are falling like weak pieces of lumber, just kind of falling around, well, the PBA has built its entire brand on guys hooking the lane and the pins flying across the pin deck, getting those messengers, and now they're well, no, they aren't yet.
Messenger Monday.
Exactly. And if they don't have that, and I know they haven't committed to doing this on TV yet, but I just don't think that it's the same. Of course, it's not the same game, but I don't think that the TV viewership is going to accept any of this, and the ratings are going to be disastrous. But that's my personal opinion.
I personally agree. You know, for me, what got me hooked really on bowling and want to pursue it is ESPN Classics used to put little bowling telecasts up, and one of the first shows I ever watched was the Windy City Classic of Maximum Bob, Robert Smith, when he was in front of the ball return, throwing it 40 counties down the lane and just making pins look like absolute pieces of straw. And that to me was so cool, and that's what got me interested. And then getting to watch Belmo and just what he does to pins is honestly disgusting. But when you put the string pins into play, we lose that excitement. We lose that, I guess, the charisma of the game. You know what I mean? The big slapped out shots, the energy, it's all kind of gone. And I think if you're going to promote a show, because that's basically what bowling is on TV, it's a show, it's a production. Yeah. Give your bowlers the best opportunities to put on a show. That's how I personally feel about it.
Yeah, and I listen. I get that the industry is what it is, how expensive it is, that there's mechanics and there's machines and that there's parts, and I get all that. But at the same time, like, the sport should be the sport. You know, they're just, in my personal opinion, the pin should not be attached to anything. It should be able to fall on its own and move around on its own. And there's no science that you can show me that the pin having something attached to it falls and moves the same as a free fall pin. And you can talk about the economics and whatever, but I don't think the bowlers will respond the same way. That's just my own opinion. I have no statistics.
The traditionalists will definitely not respond positively.
I know. And maybe that'll all change. Maybe everybody will be 100-mile-an-hour bowler. I don't know if that's what it takes, right? But
I've already started working on it. I'll let you know. I have.
Now, well, you have the strength board, as we've seen. So, yeah.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying my hardest.
Yep.
It's interesting conversation, Cal.
All right.
That I'm having with myself and Mikey.
Yeah, I was just
sitting there all quiet.
I'm trying to take it all in, as in, I'm looking at the comment section here, trying to see.
It's all just Deke and Don.
That's okay. At least somebody's in there. They're talking about how, it's a equalizer and stuff like that. So, Mikey, as you're bowling on the turf, do you think it is? Okay,
real quick, I just wanted to ask. So you're in 65th place, which means 65th in points. So you're not exempt, but you have a weekly spot, right? You can get in every week on the tour, right? No, that's not what I read. I thought it was the 45 through 90 gets the one, like, there's a bunch of people, the points 45 through 90 get points or in points get what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever, to be able to get in. Not advantage.
First dibs, you mean?
Thank you. Yes, thank you. That's what I'm saying.
So I'm not really sure how that works, because I thought that portrayed to the tour trials, not necessarily to the PBA points, which I couldn't bowl tour trials because I already took a month off from my job, and I didn't really have the luxury to go ask for another week off of work. Yeah, they weren't too. It was really sad. As after I got done, the whole run there in April, being gone for a month, my boss's first question was, "So you're done, right? You're done bowling all this big stuff?" And I was like,
"Right,
dude, I was just on Fox Sports 1. You watched me. What the heck?" Anyways,
so you're coming back to work, right?
Yeah, you're coming back to work, right? I don't really know how that works. That's something I'd have to figure out. I will get an entry into the U.S. Open for being, I think it's top 80 in points. I get a free, or top 75 in points. I get an entry into the Open, and then obviously, if I get in time, I'm going to bowl the Masters as well. So right now we have those two stops for sure that I'm going to try to get to 100%, and then after that, I think I just have to go bowl PTQs.
Okay, I must have misread it then, because I was reading priority entry is what I was looking the word I was looking for.
I hope so, because, well, I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to get all the way down to me, but that would be cool.
Yeah, but
So-
I mean, well, you're not that far off. I mean, 44 to 65, yeah, it's 20 spots, but that's pretty damn high if you ask me. 65 in the PBA is pretty good.
I don't really know why he wouldn't be in it. 65 is, anyways.
Well, there's
Trying to
9.
beat
That's
dead
what I'm saying.
horse.
There's maybe you're right. Maybe I was looking at the tour trials, but how big is the field now going to be for the national stop?
Small.
60 something.
60
right.
something.
Yeah.
Small.
Okay. But it's 45,
That's
44, or 45. So there's still priority entries for 45 through 60. So I guess you're just outside that. So if there's, you could apply or whatever, there's guys that may not show up or something.
But
right?
you also have tour title winners who weren't in
Oh,
top
right.
60 in points, and they
That's right.
they'll get entries
Cool
in.
that we're shutting out the up and comers.
Yeah. I mean, why would you want them?
Why would
there?
you want this guy back on TV? I don't know.
Yeah, no. We should make this. We should make the single squads as small as possible, so that that we'd have as small a field as possible, so that
There
can't
you
get
go,
any new bowlers at all.
So back
All
to
right,
the string.
let's
Can I
not
get
get
back to
Mike.
the
Let's
string?
not get Mike.
No,
in
we
trouble
should.
here.
We should
Mikey can't get
also.
trouble.
No,
I
hang
can
on.
get in
We
trouble.
should also limit or not have
He's not saying
regional
it. He's being a good
points.
boy.
We should also not have regional points count for anything
Okay,
towards
Cal,
the
you're
national
being a
tour.
dead
That makes a
horse.
lot of sense too.
Oh, you guys are hitting a tender
All right.
subject.
We're really good at this.
Mm.
We
I
know
hate
we
to-
know everything that's wrong with the PBA and USBC, by
I
the way,
hate
and
to,
we know all of the right
we know all the
solutions.
Anyways,
to
back to the
interject here.
strings.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, we have another video.
Yes. All right. We'll let Anthony finish his thought. But
I've
first,
been
don't forget to
holding
like, subscribe, click the bell alerts from the
I don't
channel.
know if Anthony's gonna keep that thought in his. It's probably gone.
Listen on the your favorite podcast service. Give us a 5-star review. All that nonsense. Check out Facebook, Instagram, all that crap. Anthony, what's your thing?
All right, so back to string pins. Sorry, Mike.
You're good.
Back up. Okay. We have some people in the chat. Deke, constant guy that always chats.
He
up.
likes to
We
argue
always-
with us.
No, I don't think he's arguing. 'cause
I'm joking.
I kind of, I see both sides of it. Do you think that the string pins are an equalizer from guys who aren't as powerful to guys, let's say like Francois Lavoie, French fry, a little bit less rev rate, a little bit less ball speed compared to you? Do you think that equalizes the game because now you have to be a little bit more fine-tuned on how your ball goes through the pins without that messenger hit that you would get and he wouldn't? What are you thinking?
That's a tough question because there's always a way to play the game in a form that will benefit you more than another guy. If you're at the highest level, like EJ is able to do something that his ball can strike more than the guy next to him. Same with Belmo. And when their tricks in play, obviously they're unbeatable. If you just be on string pins, is what is your trick and how does it work, basically? I think ball speed's a big thing. So I think if I was able to ramp it up a couple mile an hour more than Frankie, and we were getting to it, say like a 3-game total pinfall, and I knew that I was going to have at least 2 to 3 miles an hour higher than him most of the match, I'd probably take my odds just because of the idea of more kinetic energy going through the pins. And just like mass hitting mass at a higher rate of velocity. I think I would take me over Frankie. I do think what this does bring back into play is the purists, guys like Chris Barnes, Frankie Lavoie, Norm Duke, and allows their knowledge of striking to come back into play. But I think the younger kids who the idea of like adapt or die will adapt eventually and find the way to knock down those pins at a higher rate than the purists. So personally, that's personal
That was
opinion.
good. That was good. I followed along good.
Real
good.
quick, Don responded to the limited fields. He said, I think they limit fields so guys can make a living. Lower fields, better chance for guys to get regular checks. Yeah, okay. But
What living?
first of all, there's that. Secondly, it's
Sorry.
not the
so
PBA's
bad.
job to ensure that they are all making money. Meaning, like, if you make a 90-person field, well, then there's 30 guys that cash. You have to get into the number, man. Like, I'm sorry, but you can't just pay everybody every week. That's not how it works. This isn't a a company that you work for. I don't know why you're staring at me like that. You look like Mike.
It's like he fired up about it.
I'm just saying. Not you, Mike. Sorry, his uncle. He stares at me like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not the PBA's job to pay you every week, give you a solid paycheck. You have to earn it by winning. And I'm just saying, like,
I agree. I'm just saying, we were just chatting about
there
it.
should be no
You
guaranteed
have to be
checks.
mad at me.
It's a
Or
sport.
Mikey. Mikey's up here. He's having a great time.
Damn you, Mikey.
Getting fired up.
All right, so Austin, you're right. Let's get to this. So we have this new segment that we started. We got
We should probably figure out a name.
yes.
segment.
Well, so
Rain Mass
I have it because Alex Bonesteel submitted it, and it works. It's alliteration or it's rhyming, so it makes me happy. So it's what we see with DLP. Does that work for everybody?
Dude,
I'm in.
Whatever. I mean,
All right. So
Now we need the animation.
now we need a graphic intro and all this stuff. Yes, that's up to you, producer. All right. So we got our next one. Who is it, Austin?
It is Connor LeClaire.
Who?
Oh, you don't know? You don't know him?
I like eclairs. Eclairs are good. A good donut.
Now we
filled
talking
with cream.
true Bavarian cream eclairs?
Is there any other kind?
Well, yeah, they make some that are a lot sweeter. But
Oh, no, you got to go full on Bavarian.
you guys ready?
Yeah, it's kind of where Mikey's from, area. Europe-ish. Anyway,
All right, here we go.
all right. Let's see. Connor LeClaire. Oh, that's weird. He's tall. He's a big boy. Did that cross over?
he's
Off
using the wrong
balance.
hand.
Very off balance.
Off balance.
Off balance.
Look at this.
Is that
Ready?
the first thing you see? Yeah, I don't know.
Immediate step.
Mikey, what do you think, Mike?
Based on the brilliant high school coaches I once had, his shoulders like too leaned over. I think he needs to stand up more, get more square to the foul line. I think his left arm being in front of him isn't good. I think we need to get that out to the side to allow his shoulders to be more square. His footwork's kind of not like linear. It kind of just, it drifts a little bit. So I think he got some work to do.
Yeah, I completely agree. He's standing up. He's walking left. His hands in front of him. I mean, this is like the complete opposite of what you learn in bowling, right?
Oh, I completely lied. His footwork's really good. Whoops. My bad.
No, I think you're right. He's a little all over. It looks like a flailing chicken at the line. He's got his thumb in it. I don't get that.
Yeah, and he's right-handed.
Did he
I'm
not-
surprised you haven't even commented on
He's
that.
right-handed. I don't acknowledge.
Did he
right-handed
not
play.
trust this one?
He's like his dad. He always steps off.
Oh, true.
Aggressive.
Okay, does Brian LeClaire not step off every shot?
No, every time I watch him, he posts it.
He posts it, but then he steps off. It's like his thing.
I hope
dude,
Brian roasts you on Twitter, Kyle.
Dude, 100% this is what he does. Mike, do you know who Brian LeClaire is?
I do not.
Oh, my goodness. All right, he's a very good bowler. He was PBA 50 Player of the Year a few years ago. Or Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year?
Yeah,
One of the other.
50-year-old rookie of the year. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the PBA 50. He throws it really good. He got a bunch of regional titles.
Yeah, this is his son.
National titles. This is his
Yeah.
son. He throws it
So
all right,
any-
I guess.
Any last takes on his shot? What do we?
Well, I think his left belt buckle was missing because he wears a belt all the time. So it probably threw his center of gravity off a little bit.
Yeah, and you're just too tall. Get shorter.
Yeah, see,
It's
Don says when
short.
Brian is bowling well, Brian posts every shot. Boom. I was right.
Steve Lance, what's going on?
I see him step off all of the time. Like, it's not that he's off balance. It's just like his thing.
Why are you watching him that hard?
Yeah, what the heck? He asked me to give him advice one time.
As a joke?
No, he's like, did I throw that one soft in that lane? I was like, no, I just think that lane hooks earlier. And then the next shot, he threw a split. So that was the last time I'll ever
Great.
tell him what I thought. Yeah, I don't know why he asked me. I mean, he's actually good. I don't know why he
Oh
asked
my
me what I
God.
thought.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
That-
Connor, I hope we helped you.
Yeah,
in
keep
any
your
way
left arm to
possible.
the left, like Mikey said.
Yep.
Your
Square,
shoulders
upright.
tipped. Yep.
Yep.
And then you got to really work on your footwork because you kind of walked a little left, then you walked a little right, and I don't know why you went like one foot in front of the other. I think you should just walk side.
You should walk left to right.
No,
Right?
but his foot went in front of the other, like he's doing a drunk driving test. It's got to be
Oh,
more
Heel to toe. He was doing heel to toe.
yeah. It's got to
Okay.
be more,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll keep his
Gotcha.
hip in the way so he keeps his shoulders square so the ball gets down the lane straight.
Yes. And then I would say
Take your thumb out of it.
could just do that. That would be good too.
Mikey did it.
Let's talk about that, by the way. All right. So, Connor, thank you for sending us your video.
Did he actually send it to us, or did you steal it?
Absolutely, he did.
Oh yeah, he did. He did. Send it
He
to us
did.
today.
100%. This
was
is
like,
all
"Hey."
on him.
Here's my video.
So it's his fault, and we're not sorry. Let's talk about this one-handed, two-handed adventure that we are all seeing. You're not the only one, Mikey, that is doing it. I've seen Darren Tang looking into throwing a two-handed, which, by the way, maybe a controversial thing saying, I think he should probably stick with it.
The two-handed?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think he is going to. I don't think Mikey has to. By
No,
any
I'm not
means,
saying
but,
he
like,
should. I'm saying
has
Darren, yes.
To keep up with those guys. Mikey's already
Yeah.
up there.
I think it's not for me to analyze Darren Tang's game,
We did.
but
Just
I'm just saying
facts.
I just think he's too on the outside and up the back of the ball compared to the way he throws a two-hand. Dude, his hand is away from his body.
I don't watch that
100%.
hard. I've seen Mikey throw. I'm like, whoa.
Now, but let's talk about
Darren does get very horizontal when he throws the
horizontal,
ball.
lateral,
I don't know what
angular.
I understood.
Anyway,
The
so
ball's not next to his foot.
yes, 100%. So let's talk about why you are trying this two-handed and what do you like, what don't you like, what's the advantage, etc., etc.
It's actually been like a really big process the past 8 months. I bowled the Players Championship PTQ in Wichita, Kansas. I'm sorry. And it was the first time I bowled an event that I felt like I threw it really good, but had air. I mean, complete air. Like I wouldn't have struck with a wrecking ball. That's how awful my look was. And after about game 5, I was so far out of it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to just start, gawking around to see what these other guys are doing because they're obviously doing something I'm not. And I had a dude to my left and a dude to my right that both were beating me by like 250 pins. And the only difference between them and me was the fact that they didn't have their thumb in the ball. They were playing the same part of the lane. They were both throwing urethane, which at the time we had the yellow jacket, so it wasn't necessarily like urethane, like the black hammer. But I was in the same part of the lane, and I'm watching their balls see the lane so unbelievably well. I'm just like, what in the world is going on here? And I know for a fact my rev rate was higher to the guy to my left, and I'm pretty sure it was higher to the guy to my right. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, this isn't computing. I went back home. My pro shop guy, Brian Nicodemus, we had a good talk about it. And he's a walking bowling encyclopedia, man. He's so much knowledge. It's insane. So he brain barfed on me about bowling for about an hour, about the physics of a bowling ball and how it goes down the lane. And the idea that when you throw it with two hands, don't quote me on this. This isn't scientific proof, but this is what we talked about. All right. The idea is that the circumference of the bowling ball, when you throw it with one hand, you use about 70 to 80% of it. But when you throw it with two hands, because your thumb's not in it as like an axis tilting point, you use about 90% of the circumference of the bowling ball. So where I wasn't able to get my ball to slow down the fronts there, the two-handers were, because their ball was seeing more of the lane in a sense. That's kind of the mumbo jumbo I'm going with. And so at first I was like, there's no way, but I have a couple balls up two-handed that I was just going to do, fun stuff with. I'm going to actually pull these out and practice and see what things look like. So I started messing with it for a little bit, and then I went to the World Series, and this is where it got super real for me and where I realized this is an actual thing. We bowled on 4 different patterns and on 2 different oils and 2 different machines. We bowled on a Kegel machine with Kegel oil, and we bowled on a Brunswick machine with Brunswick oil. The Kegel machine was used on 2 patterns, and then the Brunswick machine used on the other 2 patterns. And I was always told that the Brunswick machine will always favor the two-handers because of the type of oil they use gets really stringy and stretched out. And what happens is us one-handers, our ball flies through the fronts and won't slow down enough, and it misses it down lanes unless your name's EJ Tackett. And then the two-handers, because they don't have that like big push to the front because they throw it almost dead into the floor, their ball will start up to see it sooner. And then that big stretch it gets down lane, it won't affect them near as much. And kind of why Belmo went on the run he did the past 8 to 10 years because they used all Brunswick stuff. So that was my mindset going in, not really thinking about it until I saw it for my eyes there at the World Series. The 2 patterns they used the Kegel machines on were Cheetah and Shark. Do you guys know who made the Cheetahs and Shark show?
I know one of them.
Okay.
A lot of two-handers, huh?
So Cheetah and Shark was the Kegel machine with the Kegel oil. That would have been my Marshall Kent, myself, Alec Keplinger, BJ Moore. Dio Bernard doesn't count. He's left-handed. 5 right-handed one-handers. And then on the Shark Show, which was Kegel, we had Shota Calazo, EJ, Chris Prather. And we had Matt Russo and Anthony Simonson, but again, kind of freak of natures that we'll just leave those out. And then we'll go to the Shark Show or the Scorpion Show. And this was on the Brunswick Oil and the Brunswick Machine. It was the first time ever 5 two-handed bowlers on a
I
show.
think I remember that.
Yeah, it was like it was the lefties,
And then
Taki,
Belmo.
Russo, and then it was like the other something like that. Yeah, that's an interesting thought.
And then we went and bowled the World Championship. And then it came even more apparent to why two-handers are able to bowl so well on the Brunswick stuff compared to us one-handers. And it doesn't help either that I bowl in the Central where like everything's 30 years old. And so I have to throw it fast through the front so it doesn't hook like right at my toes. But out there, that's a big hindrance to me. And I watched it plain as day, these two-handers being able to get their ball to see it between 20 feet and 40 feet, or I couldn't. And like you guys, I mean, we talked about my rev rate's pretty high. It should at least slow down a little bit. And
Sure.
I was having troubles just getting the ball to not bucket. And so I started to work on it hardcore because I'm like, if I can have this trick in the bag when we go to Brunswick stuff and long patterns, I just don't match up on long. Like my eyes don't see it well just because of how I want to open my shoulders up and project the ball to the right. If I can use this trick on patterns where I'm uncomfortable or don't see them right, why in the world would I not like want to put that in the arsenal? Because then all of a sudden I'm taking all the guesswork out of play of what I'm doing with one hand and knowing that I'm the whole idea, if you can't beat them, join them. I'm just going to do what they do and learn how to do it just as good as them, and then hopefully be competitive when that situation is called upon.
That's
So-
one of the things I was going to ask is, is this going to be something that becomes popular? It sounds like you are already doing it. I was going to literally ask, is this something you're going to do? Bring both, and then now is this something that's going to become popular where guys are going to just be able to do both? Like you said, you have to adapt in order to overcome. So you're doing it. Are there other guys that are talking about possibly being able to do both?
Kevin McCune was another one. He does it. He throws it two-handed as well. He's got a couple of stuff
Not
drilled up
seen
to
that.
it. Yep.
Oh, I have.
And he throws it well too. He throws it, but he still throws it 20,000 miles an
Yeah.
hour. I'm just like,
Dude,
Kevin,
I'm doing it, man.
take your thumb out of it for a reason, man. Slow the ball down. But
Yeah, no, we
Um,
went to the Masters in Detroit, and he was not very close, and he literally threw it with his thumb in it, and it was like 30 miles an hour with a million.
Oh, he threw it two-handed with his thumb in it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Well, then he was doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
it was, and I was like, what the heck? How the heck do you do that with your thumb in it? I mean, I don't get it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen him do it.
Huh.
And you're doing it.
it's a
Who
trick to have, man. I mean, Darren,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily, I don't think people need to switch just for the cool factor, which it is cool. And don't get me wrong, it takes a lot of stress off of my thumb and my wrist. I can go bowl 8 games in practice, but when I do it with my thumb in it, I'm usually kind of sore and the calluses are getting pretty worn in. But when I bowl two-handed, I can go bowl 15 games and what I get a little raspberry on the side of my finger. That's about it. But it's I guess just the physics of how the ball sees the lane and the strategies that you're now open to that you weren't open to before with one-handed, just the ability to see the lane in a different way. I truly think if people really want to go out and pursue the big tour and be able to, not just catch their one trick like I did on Cheetah, but be competitive week in and week out. I think having that tool in the bag is so beneficial.
That's pretty sick. It's kind of funny because it just never really even occurred to me that would be something that people would be doing, like switching. Yep, I get it. Like I can't compete. I'm going to switch to two-handed or something like that. But like just doing both, carrying both with you, it's just something that just in my brain I was just like, I never even thought that somebody would be willing to do that or think to do that. To be able to compete on all the different patterns, all the different oil machines, the different lane surfaces. Like you had said, everything in Central's 30 years old. Well, we have the same exact problem here. This is the only place that's less than 15 years old as far as lane surface goes that I can think of. I don't know if you know any other places that are young lane surface, but
I'm still thinking about the ball using 90% of its surface.
I am also thinking about that.
Because I would assume because most two-handers that we drill for, I mean, are usually their tilt is 0. So does that mean that they're using more of the ball? Because what's your tilt? Am I right?
I know my PAP, if that's what you're looking for.
What's your PAP?
It's 5 over inch and a half up.
So
For
maybe
thumb in?
Or no, I'm sorry. I'm 5 over and a half inch up. It's 5 over and 1 inch up, one-handed. It's 5 over and a half inch up, two-handed. They're pretty close.
Huh, maybe
I can just with one hand or with two hands, I have the ability to roll the ball forward so much better than I do with one hand. Because with one hand, my natural ability is, or my natural instinct is to open a doorknob. I learned that from Chris Prather, and I'm able to get the ball to spin on an axis that's more like this.
Yep.
Where two-handed, the ball rolls like this. And so then when we get on stuff that's like just so tight, I know for a fact two-handed that ball is going to see it and slow down way before it ever will one-handed. And now it's just gaining the confidence to pull it out and know that I can make shots with it. That's really the hard part, is saying, all right, I got nothing. Here we go. First shot, first guess. Let's see how this goes, you know?
Yeah, and not having as many games under your belt as you do one-handed. You don't, like you said, it takes a lot of guessing, and then you don't have the confidence, which will build up. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it'll get there, of course. You're thinking very hard. What is going on?
I can see the heat.
The smoke is like,
I'm surprised he's still got hair up there.
I think he's just
Yeah.
figuring out that I'm full of crap. I think that's what he's figuring out right now.
He's
No,
like, wait
I
a
mean-
second, who do we have on tonight?
So no, I knew when Kyle told me yesterday, but I was just thinking, like, because when you talk about like you only use 70% of your ball, well, if you have more tilt, you know, your fingers are going away, but you're really not using as much ball. But if you're 0, I would assume that you have more ball to use because you're more forward. So you're not, like he said, you're only using 70%, while the two-hander is using 90 because they're rolling it more forward. So the ball has more area to flare instead of those really tight flare lanes that are this way. They're more this way. So that might be why. Because maybe technically two-handers don't really necessarily have tilt.
science.
So it's a possibility that their balls slow down because they hit the axis point faster. Not
See, what
because-
he just said is what I was saying. That exact thing right there. What he
that
just
actually
said.
doesn't
Yep.
sound terrible. It actually makes quite a bit of sense, which why their balls slow down more when there's more oil down lane, and they can still kind of push it through a little bit, and then it picks up because the ball really doesn't have a lot of area to move or flare, while the guys with more tilt, or I would think one-handers, would have to take more time to get to the axis point, so the ball is going to shoot through a little bit more.
So you switching? Do you
Sorry
switch,
to throw that out there. That's what I've been thinking about.
do you switch to the same equipment, obviously drilled for two-handed and whatever the layout might be, or do you jump into something totally different? Because it doesn't sound like you're. Are you bringing two full arsenals that are exactly the same? Or
So
how's it working?
right now, I only have one 3-ball roller filled with two-handed bowling balls I take with me because they're specific bowling balls to do a specific thing. I don't have a full arsenal yet. I'm actually still working on that. I don't have very many bowling balls drilled up two-handed. I'll be honest. I have my practice stuff that I just practice a lot with, and then I have a nuclear forge, gold raptor, and then a tank. The reason being for those is because, like, if I get way in and they get super, super tight and I cannot get the ball to see it at all one-handed, go to two hands, cleaner cover, you know, get it through the fronts, and then make it tip down lane. And then the urethane, I've actually found that I can get my ball to strike when they get really tight, and it's a urethane strike fest and they get super tight. I can get my ball to go through the pins unbelievably well two-handed when they get that stretched out, just because of the amount that it's able to see in the fronts. And obviously rev rate's still high, and as long as you point it the right direction with your hand, you're able to get it off the spot down lane. And so I definitely keep a urethane ball in there for sure. Should have used it this past weekend in Jackson. It was a perfect time to use that trick, but unfortunately I was in the middle of like a panic attack because I didn't know what to do again, because I was like, I can't hit the head pin. And of course, I don't think about the fact that I had a bag 20 feet away from me that had a ball that I probably should have tried. So
Sometimes you get the blinders on and you just don't know, or just not thinking what is the right move to go to next, especially when you're, like you said, you're in panic mode and you're like, what is next? Although that's the time to jump completely to the other ship. And then
You ever thought to try to increase your rev rate, just hit it harder?
So you ready for this? The first time I ever received trolls on social media trolls, I posted a I had a post on Instagram. It's still up now. It was using a bowler ID bowling ball. I don't know if you guys have seen those. It's a plastic ball with interchangeable fingers and thumbs, and it has a microchip you stick in the side of it.
Oh yeah.
You turn it on, you throw it, and you throw. I think you can throw like 8 to 12 shots, and then it'll measure the ball inside the bowling ball. It takes all your data from throwing it inside the bowling ball. And I got that sucker to spin up at like 680 or 660 or something like that. And at the time I was like 22 or 21, and I thought this was the coolest thing in the world. And I put it on my social media, and actually a major tour title holder and somebody who is one title away from the Hall of Fame made a comment on that and basically told me I was full of crap. And that started like this huge like
Is that how you reached 30,000 followers on Instagram?
Nah, just being a dork. That's why people follow me.
That's insane. Like the only people, I mean, the most of the pros, what I mean by that are national touring pros don't even have that level. The only ones that do are all the girls. Like everybody follows all the girls for some reason. But
unknown reason.
I'm not trying to go that direction, Austin. Anyway, but yeah, the 30,000 is absolutely insane, which probably has something to do with the ridiculous rev rate and striking and whatever else. What other stuff are you posting about? What are you doing all the time?
I'm trying to do a lot more nowadays, more interactive stuff. So like tips and tricks and stuff. I don't necessarily ever want to coach somebody on like, this is how you bowl. I more so want to give people an idea of like, if you want to get a higher rev rate, these are certain things you probably should look to incorporate in your game to help your rev rate get higher. Or if you're looking to be better with urethane, these are maybe some things to look at practicing to get your eyes to see urethane better. It's simple stuff like that. I'm not a big believer and you have to do it one way. I mean, look at the PBA Tour. There's so much diversity in the physical games out there. You don't really need that. But more so, I want people to understand lane play because I think that's missed so much on TV. You know, Randy Peterson can talk so much he wants about it, but people don't actually, they're not doing it. And so they don't understand the gravity of what's really going on that invisible playing field. And I tell people all the time, golf's easier than bowling. I can see where the bunker is. I can see where the sand trap is, you know, and if I spend as much time playing golf as I did bowling, I'm sure that playing that game, you know, spot to spot would probably be easier than doing it in bowling. Because in bowling, I have to observe something visually and then make the best educated guess I possibly can on my next shot to get it to knock down 10 pins that are 60 feet away from me. So
it's 100%. I'm glad you said it because a million people will tell you that golf is harder. Yeah, it's a tiny little ball and you got to whack it 300 yards away, but you at least know your obstacles.
And unfortunately, bowling, you know, with the whole house pattern thing, I will say that's like my one, like, maybe super touchy subject. I hate house. It's made bowling kind of like a joke in a sense to some people because everybody shoots 230 nowadays. And
240 in league.
It's stupid. Yeah, it's a joke.
And like, it's cool. Yeah, you average 230, you know, at league. That's awesome. And I think that's cool when people want to go out and get those accolades for whatever they do in league. But then they go out and watch EJ, and he averaged 228 on tour last year, or 230, or it was the record this past year. And they're like, well, I got him beat by 3 pins in league. You don't understand what this dude was bowling on all year. Like,
right.
And that's including the US Open. Like, they don't think about they're throwing up Hail Marys after they, you know, shoot 190 at that tournament. So I just, I don't know. I think that getting people to understand how the bowling ball goes down the lane, how oil affects it, how lane, like the people you're bowling with affects it. Maybe get people to understand urethane isn't that big of a bad idea. It actually can be used. It's a huge benefit. I think it's one thing I really want people to understand. We got a bunch of old heads that I used to bowl with that would like ixnay the urethane immediately. Like, why are you pulling that out? I'm just like, I'm about to turn this into a house pattern. Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, getting people more knowledgeable about what they're bowling on, what they'll look for, and just go be observant. Go watch guys who are really good, and they will show you the way. I guarantee you.
Yeah, you can put the picture on the lane as much as you want, the blue oil or the projected picture. It means absolutely nothing to the average bowl. The 98% of bowlers that are in the world watching the television show, because it's the people that are actually scratch bowling or around that, the people that are actually taking their time to watch podcasts or listen to podcasts or educate themselves about the game. Those are the people that understand what those pictures are. But the casual viewer has absolutely no idea what they're looking at. And they don't understand that when they miss right, the ball goes right. When you miss right in league, the ball goes left, and it doesn't make any sense. But that's the name of the game now. And it's
If you miss far enough, it goes straight.
you can still make it go straight.
I really like his comment there. It is a catch-22, and I will never tell any center ever to put down a harder pattern, because you're right. You're going to fry out league bowlers. I just think it really hurts the professionals because they don't really
100%.
get the respect they deserve. See, in golf, it's just naturally hard, and you can't make it much easier other than just shortening the golf course, right? You still have
you
to
can
hit
be on a par 3 course and still suck.
Correct. And bowling, obviously, at beginners, they're still going to struggle no matter what the pattern is. But when you are able to at least get close, and all of a sudden you have a pattern that, in a sense, handicaps you to help you bowl better, well, then your growth in that sport kind of gets limited, because all of a sudden the pattern and the equipment are starting to take over for you, and your learning only goes so far now, and your development as a bowler only gets so far. And that's why I truly believe, I don't want to say that we had the best bowlers back in the day. I think each generation has their best bowlers, and I think that's up for dispute, whoever the best bowler in the world is or all time. But I think back then it was way more cutthroat than it is now, because it was always hard. If you averaged 200, you were an absolute savage, and you were not to be messed with on the bowling lanes. And nowadays, there are guys that I look at that, and they're good, my good buddies, and I look at them averaging 240, and they wouldn't dare to bowl me on anything that's less than a 3-to-1 ratio pattern, because they know it's not the same. It's not even close to the same thing.
So listen to you talk. You seem like you're a knowledgeable gentleman.
Level-headed is where
Let's use that really lightly.
Okay, we'll say. So are you pretty?
Hey, he works in a lab. He's a scientist.
Well, no, I was actually going to ask, are you a stat head, or are you a very diligent note keeper of notes?
I try to be very observant.
That works.
Okay. Are you into the numbers and all that stuff, or are you just kind of get out there and feel it and see what happens?
Definitely feel. I think the numbers get overwhelming. I tried that for a while. I used to have a notebook, and what would happen is I would focus so bad on specific things that I would lose sight of other things that are right in front of me. A lot of that's mental too, like the mental growth. A lot of it, I've just grown to just be in the moment of what's going on and just kind of view things as they come. And obviously, I'm not claiming I'm right about anything. Honestly, this is just me spewing garbage out of my mouth. But I do want to hold bowling to the level I think it should be. Yeah, I do think we have amazing athletes, and what guys do with the bowling ball nowadays is kind of ridiculous. It's so cool. And now we have kids doing it better than us, and they're 14 and 15 years old. I work with a kid. His name's Ryan Carmichael. This kid is going to win so many titles. And he's 13. He kicks my butt on a weekly basis. And I'm just this is what I have to compete with in a couple of years here.
Who? Yeah. Send us in his autograph.
Bro, you're telling me. And so I guess it's I look at that and I'm I really hope that bowling gets to the point where kids like you are given shots to really go out and do something. And that people see your talent and see your skills for what they are. And it's not just lost in this whole, house bowler, high score thing. You know what I mean? Which I'm sure it won't, but that's kind of my fear. So,
well, I think that is an excellent way to end today's show. A good high note to talk about the youngsters that are up and coming and bowling well. So, Mike, I really appreciate you coming on. That was an excellent conversation. Thank you, Austin, for the round of applause.
We can do that. That was good. Probably talk for another hour, honestly.
Yeah, this could have been a definite 2-hour episode.
Seems like we could just shoot the crap, as the people say.
I'm always down for shooting the crap, but
let me know.
We do have to go bowling, so I appreciate you coming on tonight. That was an excellent conversation.
I need a sub in league. You want to
fly over real quick?
No. I actually got steak waiting on me, and that sounds way better than frying out of league right now.
We'll be over there then.
Time out. What kind of steak?
Whatever my wife is cooking.
Oh, you don't even know? All right.
No.
The man of class.
Man of class.
Extras and mashed potatoes.
No mashed potatoes. We don't do potatoes. Yeah, sorry. I do think she has cauliflower rice. I do think is what she has.
I've tried it. I've tried it once.
It's not bad.
I know, I get it.
It's not
It's
bad.
carbohydrates, but it's from the earth. It's good for you. All right, it's from the earth.
It's a lot of starch.
Just look at me. I'm very good at
Yeah.
telling you
Lot of starch.
how to eat.
Model
all
figure right
there. All right, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. Mikey, thanks for coming on tonight. We really appreciate it. Everybody, this is Mikey Schlabach, and you can check him out on YouTube, which is, say it again for me.
Straight off the hook.
Straight off the hook. And then on Instagram, he's Mikey_119. Whoa, that's what I wanted to ask. What is the 119? Is that just your birthday?
Motocross
No,
jersey.
that's my dad's motocross number.
Oh, that's sick.
I wear it in tribute of him.
Yeah, I see you wearing that, and I'm like, what is the number? I love the number on the back of the jersey. It is awesome, for sure. All right, so that is it for us. Like I said, it is time for us to go bowling. So thank you to Jack Scaccia, proprietor of Town and Country Lanes. Austin, great show tonight. Anthony, good show. All right. Thanks again, Mikey.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you to my family, Stephanie, Zach, and Ethan.
Jam bread.
We will see you guys next week. This is Down Lane Podcast.